When you look at the overall structure of this budget, we're dealing in a very practical way. We're not talking about imaginary revenues. This budget is much more practically minded on this. And on this particular point, since we're looking at paying for $83 million in our pension payment, we're fundamentally paying for it out of this year's money, and we're not kicking the can down the road. But we do have a protective amount, $5 million, in case there is some larger amount down the line. And hopefully we won't have to use it if our revenue streams, our sales tax revenue streams, some of our other streams come in strongly, or if we're able to cost control more deeply than we planned. If we need to borrow for a small portion of the pensions because the estimate is very high, it's done through the state stabilization program. And so it is not going out to the bond market in the traditional sense of it. And we certainly are showing the state that we are meeting our obligation within the year for the year payment. And that's what $83 million represents. That's just prudent protection so that we don't wind up being in a deficit situation, having to go into our reserve fund again, which we want to avoid to the greatest extent possible. There's a host of different revenue streams that we've looked at in this budget that we have budgeted conservatively. We've said that our arrangement with New Energen on energy reduction could net us $800,000 in additional revenue. That revenue stream could be $2 million based on possible estimates. If those things come to pass in that area, and the money that we're hoping to get revenue from the Airbnb and related type organizations, we budgeted that at a certain number. That number might come in higher. Those additional revenue streams could wash over the need for us to bond this. But the point here is, what is the principle behind this? The principle behind this is, to the greatest extent, over 90% of what we think our obligation is, because we're only making an estimate of what we think the state controller will send down, we're prepared to pay for this year, within the year, and that is something that has not happened in the county over the last few years, and that's one more step on the road to fiscal stability. The fact that there's some confusion over this is certainly understandable. We just released the budget in the last few days. Legislators and members of the public and press are looking at these issues, but there's every opportunity to continue to be transparent on it, and I feel pretty comfortable that what we've done is intelligent and prudent.